Hello, everybody. We are talking about Momordica Charantia, aka bitter melon. It is a healing vegetable fruit. So I came across Momordica Charantia as I was at the library studying. I was looking at a book about medicinal foods, and I had been thinking about my daughter who has had her thyroid removed, and I was like, it's gotta be something to help her not be so dependent on this latharoxine, which is the generic um, medicine, the generic thyroxine, which is what your thyroid gland makes. And hers was removed because she had some nodules on it. And the doctor said, we just want to take it out before it turns to cancer. So there we go. Anyways, I was looking in this book and I opened up the book, just going through it quickly. And one of the journals started talking about had thyroxine in it and how the Momordica Charantia that I had never heard of, aka bitter melon, never heard of it, um, helped with thyroid function. So I was like, okay, how does it help with thyroid function? Can it replace the thyroid? Yes, I asked myself those questions and I ran into a brick wall at first because, which we'll get into that in the second slide. First, let's talk about this wonderful, wonderful vegetable. It is unique. It has a bitter taste. It kind of reminds me of eating cabbage or something, which I like. So, no problem there. It is originally from Africa and is now cultivated across Asia. It is prominent in regional cuisines and remedies. So people are using this around the world for remedies for health. Why don't I know anything about this? So it is valued for its nutrients and health benefits. It is used in traditional remedies for wellness. I am all about wellness. So imagine I'm excited about this vegetable fruit, Mamadica Charantia. I learned how to say it. So let's talk about the impact on thyroid. So I began to listen some research. Let's see what the impact of bitter melon is on the thyroid. So it says bitter melon may influence thyroid function by helping regulate hormone levels and overall thyroid activity. So I was like, well, my daughter got to have a thyroid for that to really work for her. Okay. So then it says bitter milling can impact metabolic rate by affecting glucose metabolism and lipid profiles. So I was like, is glucose metabolism, does that come from the thyroid? Because I know that that has something to do with the mitochondria. Maybe there's more to this. So then it goes on to talk about the antioxidant benefits. And it says the antioxidant properties may help reduce oxidative stress, linked to thyroid disorders, and support metabolic health. Anytime I hear of antioxidant, magnesium, my magnesium, radar come out. Magnesium, that's something to do with magnesium. And by golly, it is, because this is a very good vegetable that has magnesium in it. So then it's like, okay, let's go deeper into this vegetable. So I began to look more into bitter melon and thyroid function. I found that bitter melon can mimic some of the actions of the thyroid hormone, which enhances glucose uptake and increases energy expenditure in the body, which is the same thing that a thyroid does. So um, it does this by because it activates the AMPK pathway, which is like this protein um, that carries. So proteins they transport, they are like transporters in the mitochondria. So the bitter melon activates this transport system, and which regulates metabolism and energy balance, which ATP is generated in the thyroid, right? I mean, in the mitochondria. So we can do a class later on the mitochondria because that's another whole thing that we need to talk about. But anyway, the benefits for metabolic health. Research indicates that melon may improve overall metabolic health by influencing processes such as thyroid function through AMPK stimulation. So it does improve thyroid function through the AMPK stimulation, but it also, the AMPK stimulation does what thyroid function does. So let's look at the chart. So here it is, the Momordica Charantia. Um, the arrow can increase thyroid hormones, as you see. This is what my daughter doesn't have. So without the thyroid, she could still go here by eating this vegetable, but you got to put it in your diet. And most likely she needs it daily into her diet, like the medicine. So you're going here to the AMPK, which is the pathway. So the pathway uh, carrying this protein, we're going to end up in the mitochondria. Look at that. I talked about the mitochondria. It's down at the bottom, but let's go back up here. Increased insulin sensitivity. So that means uptake. You can uptake the glucose uptake. You can break down the glucose because you got your insulin is working right. Biogenesis and translocation of, so it's doing of the GLUT4, which is also needed in the glucose uptake. So it makes it, this vegetable that you're eating causes this stuff to happen. And then it also inhibits cholesterol synthesis in the liver. That means it's breaking down fats, um, increases the levels of carnitine. I don't know how to say that, palmitoyl transferase, but I know that those have to do with transferase has to do with what do you call it? It's not a catalyst, it's enzyme, the enzymes that you need to do certain things in your body. So in this case, it's to make the CoA dehydrogenase in muscle and liver. So this is um being able to make your muscles and livers work better, which then this transports the beta oxidation of fatty acids in the mitochondria. So it you need your liver to break. That's why they call it fatty liver, y'all. Because if it don't do this, then your liver get fatty. Okay, we learning. So eating this, I did read that vegetable can help with fatty liver. So it all makes sense to put it together in the chart. We're not going to go over on this side. We're going to do a part 2 because I didn't go into that studying enough, but I do know more about this side, and that we're getting to the mitochondria, the fatty acids in the mitochondria, the things that the thyroid is doing, right? And is not able to do. The reason you need this, my daughter needs the thyroxine. Okay? So there we go. Now, let's cook the bitter melon. This vegetable is delicious. So what I did was, let's push the video. I washed the bitter melon thoroughly, and then I sliced it into thin, even slices. I I put some olive oil and heated it in the skillet over medium heat. And then, as you can see, I lightly sauteed sliced bitter melon in a hot oil. I added all light seasoning, which is my seasoning, by taste and live spices to taste. Then I continue. And then, as you're going to see in a second, I drizzled honey over the melon. This honey is organic honey made from bees that are taken care of. They're not, they haven't had any added things to them. It's really good honey. So there you see, we drizzle the honey. And then we just continue to cook until it's golden brown. That's my friend talking in the background. She's telling me about something about the honey, but she's full of wisdom. So you see a few okra in there. I have some okra out the garden, and I threw the okra in there with this, and I say yummy, yummy. I didn't put no whole bunch of anything in there because I want to make sure that we get enough of this bitter melon. I would say 1 bitter melon per person a day. So there you have it. Very, very good. And it tastes delicious. And you saw the benefits. So get you some bitter melon. Visit your international grocery store or fresh produce store. They may have it.